Boys and girls, an insane rumor just got teased by one of the most reliable leakers in the entirety of the gacha space, Sila. This person is correct like 9 out of 10 times. I don't know if it's a group or whoever, but they're correct like 9 out of 10 times, bro. I'm gonna be honest. Hell, they might be correct 10 out of 10 times. I don't know. But take it still with a heaping grain of salt. Typically, we won't talk about leaks on this channel. However, this is so vague that I think we can at least entertain the conversation. Now, I do want to just go ahead and point out that there's been an insane amount of this going on ever since this has been disclosed. How it feels to spread misinformation. You see the rainbow and the dolphins just having the greatest time of their life. They're so happy, bro, to spread misinformation. This has been insane, bro. Look, hold on. Before I even get into what I wanted to talk about, which who I think they're actually going to be collabing with, I just need y'all to take a good long gander at how many people are doing the most. You got somebody talking about Fate Grand Order collab. Why the hell would Kuro Games collab with Fate Grand Order after watching HSR collab with them 2 years in a row? Doesn't even matter if they do it better, bro. People don't want to see that same collab IP happen again. Then you've got Freewind. This is just a massive heaping amount of cope. No, they're not collabing with Freewind, little bro. You have Sword Art Online. No, they're not. What? These collabs don't even make sense. They don't even make sense, bro. Like, what are y'all cooking over here? Y'all are just trolling. So this is not going to happen. All these people are literally just spreading misinformation and coping with the IP they think is going to make sense for Wuwa. Oh, brother. Anyways, the reality of it is, if it's coming in 2027 and it's a classic Japanese IP, you have to take into account what makes sense. First and foremost, they have to sell an unbelievably hot, attractive woman. They have to. I don't care what you think they could sell. I know for a fact that they're going to sell a hot, attractive woman, because when you look at Wuthering Waves and how many times they drop hot, attractive women, it's clear it is a woman-driven game in terms of their monetary incentive to get players to pull on. They know their target audience. Has to be attractive woman. So if there's going to be one female and one attractive woman, that does narrow it down quite a bit. Number two, we already heard from them when they did the Cyberpunk developer talk that when they go into a new region, they want to collab with an IP that's going to make sense and overlap with the world building of that particular region. For Lahai Roy, they thought it was great to do it with Cyberpunk Edgerunners. That made perfect sense. Lucy was the incredibly attractive woman, also very popular, and then they gave out Rebecca for free. Not that Rebecca ain't best girl, but she ain't holding a candle to Lucy's attractiveness, all right? That's just the truth. Now, who are they gonna do for New Federation? Well, I took a nice little gander at New Federation. Now, I don't want y'all to mistake me for the most god tier lore nerd. I don't spend an unbelievable amount of time looking into lore. So I'm actually thankful that Wiki here is able to share some of this stuff about New Federation. I have I'd say a little bit more than surface level knowledge of New Federation, but I'm not going in the game like finding every little bit of detail and stuff, right? What I can tell you is there's some very important details here. The country has been described by some as a technology cult, which runs deep in the blood of every citizen. And the course of one's life can change rapidly when research talent has been identified. It is known to possess planes and aerospace companies such as Triumph Avionics, cutting-edge photography equipment, and hosts an annual exposition for demonstrating global scientific advancement. So we already know it's a very high-functional, high-tech society as well, and to the point where it might see that they don't give a fuck about ethics and morals for the advancement and progression of science, right? And then they said, look, check this part out. When it says, in the course of one's life can change rapidly when research talent has been identified. Listen, boys, all I'm saying is that type of mad scientist behavior overlaps with Final Fantasy VII. It does. And if you're a Final Fantasy VII fan, you know it does. If that ain't enough to convince you, we're going to go even further. There are class divisions in the New Federation ranging from the aristocracy, which more Tefi belong to, the exiles at the lowest rung of the social hierarchy. If you know Final Fantasy VII, there's a massive social hierarchy, right? You've got Shinra, the big mega corp douchebags up in the upper plate with the high class citizens. And then you've got what's below that, below Midgar. You know what I mean? The peasants, the people who are struggling, the people who are like getting Mako poisoning in their body because Shinra doesn't give a damn about them. Exiles have been blocked from finding legitimate work, facing endless discrimination and prejudice. They resorted to building camps in the country's outskirts, and the place where they gathered became the lawless zone. Once inhabited by gangs, the central government waged war against them until the Ghost Hounds mercenary group annexed the last gang. Ghost Hounds mercenary group. Final Fantasy VII, Avalanche, Cloud is a mercenary. I'm telling you, boys, we cooking here. And the zone now serves as a source of mercenaries for the schemes of the upper class. Avalanche, you have Barrett, Tifa, and Cloud fighting against the big corpse. It makes so much sense. There's so much overlap. Then you've got mad scientists, right? You've got mad scientists over here at the New Federation. You've got remnants of the Court of Savante. You've got these crazy fucking people, and they're trying their best to like, I think they're going into Tacitites, if I remember correctly. And they're trying to unveil as much as they can. They're even trying to like experiment on, I think, the Sentinel of the New Federation and convince the Sentinel that they're on their side, but in reality, they're trying to exploit them. It gets pretty crazy, but all of this overlaps. I know I'm all over the place. Sorry, I'm pretty excited. With Dr. Hojo's crazy ass from Final Fantasy VII. Y'all know he's the biggest mad scientist, biggest douchebag in Final Fantasy VII who works for Shinra, and it's a same type of ordeal. You've got Frequency in Tacit Discords versus Mako Energy and Materia, right? Mako Energy, if you don't know Final Fantasy VII, is the life stream and the blood of the planet. Materia is this incredibly broken technology that can give you magical powers that's been created via Mako Energy and science and so on and so forth. And not only that, in Final Fantasy VII, when they said that if you have high talent, then your life could change. It's the same thing in Final Fantasy VII. They will experiment on your ass, turn you into a super soldier if you have that same type of talent. Speaking of mad scientists too, you talking about the original OG mad scientist, bro. This Dr. Hojo, the biggest douchebag in all of Final Fantasy VII, bro, created. Actually, I don't know if I want to. All right, you know what? For spoiler reasons, we're actually not going to spoil that one for any Final Fantasy VII people who haven't played the game yet. It's just like there's a lot of overlap there. And we haven't even gotten into how Tifa can bring a heaping amount of money if sold, which you know it's going to be Cloud as the male character and Tifa as the female character. They're going to give you Cloud for free, which sounds insane for any other IPs, or I'm sorry, genre that isn't gacha genre. Any other genre out there would probably sell you Cloud and give you Tifa for free. But because this is a gacha space where motherfuckers is ass backwards, Final Fantasy VII fans would be eating. We'd be getting the Cloud for free, which is crazy. Give me my free Cloud. You know what I'm saying? And we'd be pulling on Tifa, which obviously we're still going to do. It's like a win-win. We'd pull on Tifa. If they were selling her, we'd pull on Cloud. But gacha players are going to be pulling on Tifa. You want to know why? Want to know why, boys? Guys, one of the hottest female characters in all of gaming is Tifa. Okay? This girl is a literal 10 out of 10. All right? Now, there's Tifa fans and there's Aerith fans, and then there's us who love them both. But Tifa, in terms of selling to a gacha audience, Gooner audience, Tifa makes more sense. She does. The tits are ridiculous, guys. All right, they just are. They're absolutely insane. Not only that, when we consider their combat prowess, right? You got Cloud with the Buster Sword that translates over to a Great Sword in Wuwa. You've got Tifa with the Fist that transfers over to a Gauntlet user. And then you've got Forte Circuit, which they have. I mean, dude, Final Fantasy VII has an insane Cloud's repertoire of moves. Tifa's, you can just pick 2, 3, or 4 of them. Their ults, you've got the meteor punch for Tifa with, I think, Final Heaven, and then you've got Cloud's Omni Slash. That's going to be their ultimates. And then you can, for the collab, give them an exclusive meter that only belongs to them called the Limit Break. Or if you want to do not as good of a collab, you make the Limit Break the Forte Circuit. I think you give them a Forte Circuit and a Limit Break meter. They make sense. Kuro is a company that can cook up their kits and translate them perfectly into Wuwa combat. Guys, you cannot say that I'm not cooking here. You can't. It makes sense for the story. Cloud can take up a mercenary job from Calcharo, who also belonged to that gang. Ghost Hounds. Calcharo comes from the Ghost Hounds in New Federation. Cloud can take up a mercenary job. There's like the beginning of the story right there. I think Alto can run the protocol for them to infiltrate and give them the breakdown and so on and so forth from the Black Shores. I can see this happening so crystal clear. Sephiroth could be the tactical hologram fight. That would be one of the most godly hologram fights of all time. That would bring even more people in. Fighting Sephiroth as a hologram, make him permanent. It probably won't, given how they just did Atom Smasher with the Cyberpunk Edge Runners collab. I see so much. You also got Final Fantasy music. Right, the music in Final Fantasy VII is also amazing too. There's a lot of good songs in Final Fantasy VII. I can't think of any reasons as to why it wouldn't be Final Fantasy VII. It also makes sense collab wise because they've got the final installment of the remake series going out in 2027. And so there's going to be a lot of hype garnering around that too. So it makes sense in that regard. And then if you take that away, delete the remake series in its entirety, Final Fantasy VII is one of the most beloved classic Japanese IPs of all time. Right? So like, I think it makes a lot of sense. It really does. I think that's going to wrap it up. I'm yapping. I'm all over the place. I can see it. I can see it. Now, if it doesn't happen, oh, this is just a video that I made, and you know, it is what it is. I was wrong. Who cares? At the end of the day, it's content, boys. It's a good conversation, right? So y'all comment down below. Let me know what you think. Peace, love, and happiness. And I'll catch you guys on the flip side.